Good afternoon, traders. Today is Monday, April the 18th, 2011. Markets got crushed today. S&P finishing down 14 points, over 1%. Dow Jones finishing down 139 points. The Nasdaq finishing down 29 points. All the indices were down over 1% today. Russell finished down 13 points, finishing off at 821. 1.6%. VIX was up today. There was a lot of call buying on Friday actually. I thought it was way too cheap, and usually when it gets that cheap, a catalyst usually occurs, and that was over 10% on the day. Gold futures didn't hit the $1,500 marker. We closed at $14.97, 11 points, about 0.7%. But I think 1500 is definitely in the cards for us. Oil /CL closed at 107.34, down 2.3 points, over 2%. And this is what I really like to see, because for us consumers, the prices are just getting ridiculous. US dollar finished up 71 cents at 75.73 close. And just note that on Friday evening, when I put the video out, I said that there would probably be some buying around that 75 level. They gapped it up today. New York Stock Exchange advancers 577 and decliners 2,445 with a volume of 1.4 billion shares. Some of the news that happened that brought this market down, the main headline was S&P issues negative outlook on U.S. ratings but affirms its AAA status. Many overseas markets move lower amid concerns about Greece's debt. And then China's central bank raises reserve requirements ratio by another 50 basis points. Starting off with the E-mini futures chart, taking a look at the volume, which was over the average 1.6 million contracts traded per day. We actually finished off at around 2.3 million contracts today, which was exceeding. Now what you don't want to see is if you're a bull, is a down move with heavy volume, which occurred today. So now the next level is going to be, of course, if we get below the 1300, the 1285, which is right around the 100-day moving average. We're going to keep watching this level and see if the bulls will be able to get this thing back up, or if they're just trying to pretty much fake everybody out today. We did have a sell on our proprietary indicator here, and going on into the future, I'm going to, if you have Thinkorswim, I'm going to let you get the code for this that I created, and hopefully it will help you guys out as much as it's helping me. Now taking a look at the intraday chart, we had gap down from 13.16 close on Friday to an open today at 13.01 before selling all the way down to the 12.90 level. So we need to watch this 12.99 to 13.01 little range here, which we traded in the last hour of the day. These are all critical levels, with the 1300 being in the middle. Now how we're going to play this tomorrow: above 1301 intraday, look to day trade to the long side. Below 12.99, look to take your shorts. And of course, if the 50 on the 5-minute chart starts descending, that's just another short-term indicator that you want to look for more downside. Today on the earnings calendar from Goldman Sachs, this is the ones that we're going to be watching every day. We had Goldman upgrade A1, A123 Systems, this is the symbol right here, from neutral to buy. Then CA Inc., symbol CA, from sell to neutral. And then the downgrades were CVLT and then GPS. And today, upgrades, we had 12, and then downgrades were 25. So analysts downgraded a lot of stocks today. Now looking at A1 on the chart, you see a lot of people watch Goldman Sachs analysts because they are known as the best investment firm in the world. and you saw the nice move today, up 11%, 62 cents. That's good for a small cap stock. And look at the volume, average 5.8 million shares. Today we traded around 13 million. Now we're looking at the gap, symbol GPS, gapped it down, met support at the 2148 100-day moving average before moving it back up. Now today we traded 10,000 puts versus 1,600 calls. And usually when Goldman goes and puts an initiation on a stock, you usually see the direction, whatever price target they put on it, you tend to see a lot of option volume. So we're going to be watching this in the future. Maybe we could just use that as another partial indicator in our investment strategies. So anyways, tomorrow look for this 50 to be approached at 22.10, or maybe they're going to slam this thing once again and get it below the 2148 100-day moving average. Looking at Abercrombie & Fitch here, which is another retailer. I don't know if they just want to downgrade the gap or if they're kind of looking for the whole retail sector to get downgraded. It has had an amazing move. This Abercrombie's definitely overextended. This could be a flag pattern, but if this 6750 doesn't hold, and the 10-day moving average should be up there by then, maybe you could see a little more downside to, let's say, 64 to 62 half. So I'm definitely watching this one for a short. And it just may look like this. It's a little different between this VHC stock that I shorted and the Abercrombie, but you see the move up, the failed breakout pattern. Once it got below 26, you saw the move back down to 22. Today on the earnings calendar, starting off with Citi, the third largest bank in the U.S., registered a 32% decline in its first quarter profit to $3 billion, or 10 cents per share, from the $4.4 billion, 15 cents per share posted earlier. Net revenue slipped 22% to $19.7 billion. Analysts projected a profit of 9 cents per share for the company during the quarter. Shares of the company gained 1.36% today, which is nothing, but maybe Citigroup could get going. I think that going over the next year or two, if you could wait that long, it will definitely get back up to $7-8 a share. Looking at the daily chart, we're right above the 200-day moving average, which is at 435. So as long as it maintains above this, you might be able to squeeze a little more out of it, assuming that the market doesn't continue selling off to the downside. Eli Lilly, symbol LLY, leading drug maker, registered a 15% decline in its Q1 profit to $1.6 billion. And looking at the Eli Lilly chart, this is not one of my favorite stocks to trade, but if you were interested in it, 35.20 is the 200-day moving average, and then the 20-day moving average is crossing above it. If we go hold the 35.50 and then get back above that February high around 35.80, you could probably look to get back in this thing for a higher move. Gannett, symbol GCI, which this was one of the stocks that I caught at the March lows when it was just $2-3 a share, and I wrote it up nicely. Right now we closed up 37 cents to 14.83. They are a publisher of 80 newspapers and USA Today, which is a big name. Reported a 23% decline in its first quarter earnings to $90.5 million. A few of Gannett's sister companies include the New York Times, News Corporation, and Journal Communications. Even though they missed on the revenue, the stock still jumped today after coming down to the 200 and then bouncing off that, finishing off near the highs, right under the 100-day moving average. If this continues and we break past today's high, we're going to look for the 50 to be our next line of resistance around 15.83. Also note that we still are in this downtrend. We poked our head above it today, so maybe a little consolidation, then move higher. Below 15, you'll probably see the lows retested and then approach the 200 again. So this could be a slow mover. I'm not interested in it. Halliburton's first quarter earnings soared as the oilfield services company reported that increased activity in North American unconventional oil fields more than offset impacts from political unrest in North Africa and delays in Iraq. Looking at the intraday chart, we opened at 47.02 and then had a big wick down to 45.67, which was Friday's close, before rallying back up, finishing off at 47.15. So there's going to be a range tomorrow intraday, and your levels are going to be 46.67 and 47.60. So you could catch nice moves off this. Remember, guys, watch the opening line tomorrow. I have a feeling that it's going to definitely be in play in the first 15 minutes of the day. And the daily chart looks pretty good. With a hold of 46.67, the 50-day moving average will break out of the 20 and then get above 48 to start getting higher moves back to the highs around 50.74 and then hit 52 to 54. Moving over to the monthly chart, the high that was set back a few years ago was 55.38. That's what this stock's trying to retrace. Key Corp, symbol KEY, which trades around 20 million shares a day, swung to a first quarter profit as credit quality improved and it recorded a credit for potential loan losses. The revenue declined. That's why the stock finished down 31 cents. A lot of the other bank stocks were weak as well, including JP Morgan finishing down 2 points. So AMTD, which is my broker, in my opinion the best broker out there, they acquired Thinkorswim, finished down 84 cents today, but they said that they're averaging 387,000 trades a day so far in April. So if you want to kind of get the profit that they're streaming in, you just do 387,000 times the average trade cost, which is around $7 a share. They're banking, and they said they declined 7% in trading activity over March, but they picked back up, so the profit rise 5.6%. Here's what the daily chart looks like. The all-time high for Ameritrade was 62.79, and now it was back during the dot-com bubble. The next high we're going to retrace is from back in January 2006 at 26.42. Charles Schwab had a good quarter and everything. I like this. This stock is a cash cow, and as long as we hold 21, you could see higher moves. GWW Granger reported first quarter earnings $2.18 per share. May not be comparable to Reuters $1.79. Revenues rose 12.6% year over year to $1.8 billion versus $1.85 billion consensus. Huge gap up to a new 52-week high. We're going to continue watching this one for the gap and go strategy. We'll see how this plays out, and this is another all-time high for GWW. Last stock, Texas Instruments, which is sliding down in the after-hour session. They missed by 3 cents on the top line, so this one may not be the best candidate for a long tomorrow. I didn't listen to the conference call. If you like this company, I suggest it. But that's going to wrap up today's video. Good luck trading tomorrow, and have a good evening.